Hello everyone and welcome to a follow-up video on my hospital website from the last time. So I have not gone into details showing my website in the last time. So this time we will dive a bit deeper on how it works. So at first, let me start talking about the template. Such templates, when you're trying to make a website, you can do the template yourself, you can design it, or if you're not interested in the front end part, you can head to this website. There are a lot of good templates here, all of them for free. You can search for any template, and I definitely recommend them. As you can see, there are medical templates. There are templates for pretty much everything. You can use the template and work the back-end logic yourself, or you can also create the front end if you enjoy making the front end part. Okay, back to our website. So to understand how really the website works, we should start from the code. There are numerous files, but I have selected the most important three files in the code. These are the backbone of the project. The first one is the urls file. In this file, you can see pretty much every path we have for the project. There is the default index path, which is this path, by the way. As you can see, there is no slash after the port number, so this is the default path. The next one is the login, either for the patients or for the staff, and then we have a register page, and the about page, the pricing, the service, and this is the admin path, which is different. And paths for doctors start with staff first, and then the doctor. Each of these paths has a correlated function in the views.py file, which implements what happens when the user visits this path. So for example, when we visit the register path, you can see we're calling the views.register function. So let's go to definition, and in the views file, this is the exact logic that will be implemented when the user tries to access this path. If the user is requesting a post method, this means that the user is sending information to this path, then we handle it in a certain way. Otherwise, the user is just visiting this page, so we're just rendering the HTML page. Um, as you can see, there are more logic lying behind when the user is sending data, as this means the user is signing up. So we obtain his first name, his last name, his username, and then we try to create an account in our database for this user. If it fails, we say that the username is already existing. Otherwise, we do create a new patient in our database, and we then call the login function to login our patient in. So this is pretty much everything. All paths are the same way. You visit the path, and then you handle the logic in the views.py. Of course, I'm not going to get into all functions, as it would take a lot of time, but you can explore them for yourself. Next, the most important file is the database. The models.py is what represents our database, and in Django you cannot have three users, but you have to have one user, uh, and this is a problem for me, as I had different types of users. By not having one user, I'm not meaning one patient, but I mean different types of users, as in a patient user, as in a doctor user, as in a staff user. So these are basically different types of users. So to handle this problem in Django, you have to create a basic user with properties that are pretty much shared among all other users. In this case, their first name and their last name, and then we have a role, which is can be an admin, can be a doctor, or can be a patient. The ER model of the hospital. As you can see, both doctor and patient, they import from user. So user having the basic properties like the date joined, like the email, the first name is active. So these attributes are shared among all users, and user itself inherits from abstract user, and both user and abstract user are just come with Python. With Django, as you can see, I'm importing them, and they just come with all these traits. All I have to modify was these extra traits, like the doctor's rating, the doctor's shift, the doctor's degree, and we inherit from user by this syntax. We inherit from user into our doctor, and we create our extra attributes, and we do the same for the patient. And you can imagine this is pretty much the same for any other model. And then we do create some new models, like the prescription model, like the appointment model. And once we create our models, we can use them in the views.py. When we create a new patient, we create a new doctor, we create a new appointment, it is basically the same. So back to our website, the register page that we handled our logic here. This is nothing but a form, and each of these values in the HTML, or each of these inputs has some values in the HTML. We receive those values, and we initiate a new object in our database with these values. It is not really complicated. Let me show you the register page. So this is what I was talking about. This is basically just a form that sends the data to the URL register, which is this URL, which is gonna navigate back to the register function, and it has several inputs. The username, the email, the password, and we basically receive this. We access them via this name, the first name, the last name, and we take the value of these inputs, and we do create an object in the database using the create user function, and we save it into our database. The logic is left for you. This is the make appointment page. In this page, we can either post or get using post request or get request. If we use the post request, we are receiving or reading data from this form, the doctor, the name, the title, the time, and the date, and we create a new appointment object in our database. Otherwise, we're just returning this page. Requesting a get method, we just return the appointment page, and this actually is not perfect. This can be further optimized, as there might be some clashes. For example, there is no logic, or there is no processing logic in the make appointment function. I should check if the appointment time is appropriate for the doctor or not. If it is not appropriate, I'd rather even not show it. Not show it, or at least make the user not able or unable to make an appointment at this time, as as the doctor will have two appointments at the same time. So this is a little challenge for you. If you can actually implement this logic, you can clone the repository and make some modifications here to check if the date and time, or if the date and time exists in the doctor's table. You should return an error and not make the appointment. Otherwise, you save the appointment. Finally, I wanted to point out to an amazing resource if you want to learn Django. CS50's web course is the way to go. It is really extensive, it's challenging, it teaches Django very well. You even scratch the top of React, and the projects are really challenging. I really enjoy them. That's it for the video. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section, and thank you so much.